everybody, I'm Shari from Shari Barta Wellness. I'm so excited to bring you the first part to this series. It's all about getting your body back after babies. So I have two children, one's 11 and one is 9. It has taken me 10 years of continual work to kind of bounce back. I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, but not everybody's going to take this long. Do you understand that I had a full diastasis recti? In the process of rehabbing, trying to do it on my own, I ended up herniating that. And so it's been interesting with surgery and a lot of exercise. I've come a long way. I've done Pilates throughout it, and that's where my love for Pilates came from and my passion to help other women. And recently I have learned a piece that put the whole puzzle together. And I think that if I had learned this in the beginning, it would have changed absolutely everything. So I want to share that with you. It's all about breathing. So when in the first couple weeks postpartum and 10, 15 years postpartum, we assume that our breathing just goes back to normal, but it doesn't. And our breathing is like the first step to getting our core connected the way it's supposed to be. It starts to help us build our abdominal strength back up, and it's unbelievable. So it's made up of 3 things. I want to talk about all of these because I'm gonna show you some basic breathing exercises. So it is built up of your diaphragm, your abdominal muscles, and your ribs are important here, and then your pelvic floor. So if you think about it, here's your canister. We have one here, down, and then here's the other piece. This all has to work together for us to breathe correctly. Getting a nice, big, deep breath that we can feel all the way down our whole body. It helps us get our strength. It actually helps rebuild continence for anybody who starts having any leaking issues. This is the building block. I wish I had learned this in the beginning, because no matter how much work I did on my lower core, I always felt like there was something missing, and it was the ribs. So our ribs are really, really important. Our ribs, a lot of times, if you're like me, I have a small torso, that my babies pushed my ribs out. So my ribs were stuck out to the sides. So you can figure out where your ribs are by taking your fingers and just trying to find your ribs and see which way they're sloped. Ideally, they're coming downwards. So mine are now. They were out here before. I'm going to teach you how to start getting those into the right directions. This is really important because when we breathe in, we want to breathe in what's called a 360-degree pattern. So we want to take a deep breath, and you want to feel your ribs expand out. You want your stomach to expand out. You want your back to expand. It's almost kind of like you're opening up one of those billows we use for the fireplace, and then when you exhale, you're going to pull it all together and squeeze it shut. So it's you should feel when you exhale that your pelvic floor tightens and pulls up, your core tightens and pulls up, your ribs tuck down. This all compresses to help pull that air out. That sounds like it's easy and that things just automatically kick back in. They don't. And I wish I had known this part, because it would have made things so much easier for me. So that's why it's my first part to you guys. Starting to get back to pre-baby body is learning how to breathe again, okay? So I want everybody to sit cross-legged to start on the floor. We just want to check in with ourselves. I want you to put your hands kind of around your ribs, and I want you to take a deep breath in. Try to put all the way down to your belly button. And now you're going to exhale it. Did you feel any of those things I described? Do you feel your ribs coming out? Do you feel your core, your belly expanding as you exhale? Is that all pulling in together? If it's not, it's okay. I'm going to show you ways to work on breathing in different positions to start helping your body to figure this back out, okay? For me, my ribs are stuck outwards, so I started just breathing out this way. I've worked on it, and now my ribs have kicked in, and I'll tell you, it literally took me like a week or two, and it's crazy how different it is. And the perks is I can totally see the changes on my core. My abs are looking more connected, which cosmetically is just fantastic. Okay, so back to it. So take another deep breath in, hands on your ribs. Take mental note where you're at. Again, it could be on one side too. If you're like, ooh, one side looks great, one side's sticking, that's okay. That's normal, okay? All right, so I want to say, I'm going to show you how to take some deep breaths in a bunch of different positions to help start getting your ribs and core, diaphragm, ab muscles, pelvic floor, all that starting to work together. Because like I said, this is step one to getting your that core pressure, core connection together to start building some abdominal strength, okay? So we're gonna start with laying on our side. Just pick one side, we're gonna do both. So you're gonna come down onto your side, extend one arm, curl up kind of in a ball. So if you notice in this position, I'm laying on my left side. So my left rib is stuck against the floor. It can't really move. But my right rib can. My right rib's down, my left rib is up. I want you to take a deep breath, put your hand onto that rib. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Do that again. That air has no place else to go because we're blocking the other areas. We're curling up in a ball, so we're not preventing it from not going into your belly, and we're preventing it going into the other rib. So it has to come here and expand into your back. That's the idea. We're using our position to help get other parts of our body connected. So put your hands on, keep your hands on those ribs. Keep breathing in. Keep thinking about taking that breath right to your fingertips. Use your hands as a locator device, okay? So do it again. Deep breath in. Send it to those fingers. Exhale. Feel those hands come in. You can even push a little bit, not hard, but gently guide those ribs where you want them to go. And remember, you want them to come down in gently. So in again, and then exhale. Great. Right rib is warmed up. Let's do the left. So sit up, spin it around, other side, same thing. Arm out, bring your feet up. Hands on your right rib. Sorry, we did the left before. The same thing. So take a deep breath in. Exhale. Feel that rib pull down this way as you exhale. Inhale again. Focus on expanding into that hand. Exhale. Push it down. Give me 5 breaths here. Really focusing on that connection. Remember, your position is helping you cancel out the other areas so you can focus on this one. Two more. One more. Great. So now we have both sides of our ribs warming up. So we're going to do our back now. So the back of our ribs. So I want you to sit up. I want you to roll yourself up into the tightest ball you can. So now, if you can tell by my talking, I'm really connecting those ribs downwards. They can't really go anywhere. Neither can my diaphragm. But my back is open. So we're going to work on breathing into that to expand it because it gets really tight from carrying babies and stuff and just life. So head down if you can. If not, you can keep your head up. It's fine. I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale. Really focus on the back ribs right in this area, opening and expanding and coming back in with that exhale. So do 5 breaths there. Two more. Awesome. Okay, so now we have our ribs warmed up. We have our back warmed up. Now we need to try to put it together. So we're going to do what's called 90-90 breathing. And it's going to work on getting the breath into our lower abs in that contraction to get our deep core muscles kicking in, which connect to our diaphragm and our pelvic floor. So, a couple little tricks. If you've got a couple small pillows lying around, I'm going to quickly grab one. All right, I have just a throw pillow. They work fantastic. You're going to want to use a wall. I'm going to use my chest here. You're going to lay down and you're going to bring your feet up onto the wall. So if you notice, I've got about 90 degrees at my hips, 90 degrees at my knees. My feet are just pushing against the wall. Take your pillow or a yoga block. Those work great as well. You're going to put it between your knees. I want you to just give it a little hug. Secret, when you hug something with your thighs, you kick your inner thighs in. Your inner thighs are directly connected to your pelvic floor and your deep core muscle. So we just got things firing on an automatic level. All right, so now arms down by your sides. I want you to take a deep breath in, and I want you to exhale. Can you feel some tightening in that belly? Can you feel your ribs tilting down? If yes, fantastic. Stay here. Take a couple deep breaths. It'll feel really good, and you'll feel a little more relaxed in these stressful times. If you're having a hard time finding it, take your hands, put one on your ribs, put one on your belly. And when you think about taking a deep breath in, my hands expand away from each other. Exhale. Try to bring your pinky towards your thumb. I'm not crunching to do it. I'm just letting my ribs' natural movement be what brings my hand downwards. Try it again. Now exhale. And again. Nice. Check into your pelvis. Is your tailbone pointing downwards? We don't want to be curled up. We really want that tailbone heavy so that we have a nice neutral pelvis. Take a couple more. Beautiful. So if this is going well, you feel like you've got it and you want to make it a little harder, take your arms overhead and try to see if you can knit those ribs down as well. I find this very difficult. So you can deep breath in, exhale, and you want to think about pulling your ribs down towards it even though your arms are overhead. So that's a way to challenge it. Okay? If you want a little harder, take your feet off the wall and hold them up. So those are two different ways to take this same exercise and make it a little bit harder. Is you can put your arms overhead. If you can do it there, take your feet off the wall, and then you're going to have to use those lower abs to help support it even more. Really be mindful of not gripping into your back. Like I said, make sure your pelvis is nice and neutral, so you don't want it to be curling up or down. What is neutral pelvis? Quick, we're going to go into this more the next time, but I want to show you. So a neutral pelvis, great way to find it is put your fingers together, thumbs and index fingers. Place them right on, thumbs at your belly button, fingers on your kind of towards your pubic bone. Are they even? When they're not, people tend to be curled up or they tend to be hanging. So see if you can make those fingers neutral while you're doing these breathing exercises. It will make a big difference. And if it's not, we're going to work on that next time to help find this center so we can work out of it. I hope you like this. I hope it was helpful. Any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out either on my Facebook, or my YouTube page or my Facebook page, or you can check out my website, sharibartawellness.com. I'm always open for consultations if anybody is having some issues. I hope you're all doing well. Let's live long and strong and healthy, and let's get our bods back. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.